Yes, you're welcome back to the show. It's time for me to talk to Victor Ukueku, who was one of the winners at the Open Snooker and Billiards Championship. Um, Victor, it's a pleasure to have you on the show once again today. Thanks for joining me. And I want to ask you, you came
I
third
am
at that particular, you came third at the championship. What happened? What would have expected you to have been the winner of the championship? What happened?
well. You win some, you lose some. I don't think I was on my A game. I think that was one of it. I really don't like giving excuses when I lose. It just so happened that I lost, and I will just pick myself up, pick my learnings, and prepare for the next tournament.
Mm. All right, looking at the points even made by Gideon that actually won that championship, 38. That's a far cry from what's obtained in maybe North Africa as well as Europe, where some of them make as much as 100, even 147. But 38, how do you benchmark such performance with the global rating now?
Considering the situation in this part, we really can't compare ourselves to those guys. You know, we're more like we're just starting the game snooker and billiards. And I believe the last tournament I was part of, I broke half a century. I had a break of 55, though I didn't progress in the tournament. But, the fact that we don't really give ourselves to practicing and preparing better for tournaments, can cause things like that to happen. You understand? So, I mean, for Gideon to have had a break of 38, I mean, that's a fantastic job considering the facts I just listed. You get.
Mm. Do you think that, aside that, what do you think, or should I say now, what do you think is really responsible? Is it that because we don't have much tournaments here in Nigeria, or maybe there is no motivation, less motivation, and all that? How can we improve the quality of what we have?
Of course, it is the motivation that will bring about the tournaments. You understand? I mean, for the sponsors, that took up that responsibility. I mean, kudos. They giving quite a lot, in the, I think it spurred a number of us to, start looking at the game a bit differently, in just this past 2 weeks, especially the game of snooker and billiards. You get part of the things that are lacking, in this part is that sponsorship. You understand? If you go to a marketing manager now and say you want them to come and sponsor your game or a game of snooker, they are considering, or they are thinking of what your reach is. How many people can that game reach? What is their return on investment? There's no passion for the game in this part. They don't care about it. You understand? There's just a number of us players who just once in a while, and some of uh, advanced colleagues who feel the need to invest in the game in this part. You get that encourage us to play from time to time. You get that said, we equally would, aside sponsorship, there's supposed to be the platform to practice. We don't have snooker halls, enough snooker halls to say, okay, yeah, I can just stroll into a snooker hall, pay a penny or two, and have some time on the table to practice. And it's like you have a friend who has a table in their house. So man, those things are like far-fetched in this part.
Do you think that we should do more by moving, because it appears that the snooker they are just found in most of the clubs that we have. Do you think there's a need for us to, have a proliferation of the snooker table, just like you have the pool now? You can walk in, like you said, you can walk. Do you think there's a need for us to have like a proliferation of the snooker table when you are not restricted to go to the club alone?
I don't see how possible, that would be, because to get a snooker table is, pardon my French, freaking expensive. You understand? And it would be very difficult to get people, before you can even get people to come play it, they must at least have known about, the game. We don't even have the space for it. We don't have the halls. We don't have anybody wants to get into a business like that. So thinking of quick returns, they are not doing it because of the passion. You understand? Except we have people like our guy here, our guy Joaquin, who has passion for the game. If he says he wants to invest in it, then good. We can look for a way or look for ways around, getting such platforms in place where people can come in to, express their talents and, do their best on the table.
All right. So before I let you go, there is a championship, the Africa Snooker Championship, the All Africa Snooker Championship coming up in May, in Morocco. There are different dates. We heard May. We are also hearing that it might be in July. And Nigeria is expected to be part of this. What do you think? What's your take?
Yeah, it's in July now, though. The tournament is in July now in Morocco. It's the kind of exposure that the game needs, at this point. If the average player in Nigeria, who plays pool quite well, knows that if he tries his hand on snooker, he'll catch up fast. And he knows that there's the opportunity for him to go play internationally, or there's the opportunity for him to earn some good money or good pay. Trust me, the guys will come out, players will come out. You see players everywhere, But the fact that you can't solely depend on the game, you understand? You can't solely depend on the game. You can't rely on it. Is one other thing that does not really encourage players to show up. You get, but for as regards the tournament itself, I mean, those are the kind of exposures that we need to build the game, and we also need to equally internally work on having proper structures in place that would help our own, our own team. You get to help build our confidence, help build our strategies, help build everything that concerns the game. So we have time for a whole lot of things, especially as it concerns the game.
All right. Okay. So let's see. Good for some of your points that you've raised. The fact that there needs to put more structure, because looking at the structure that we have in Nigeria presently, it does not really. If you look at the structure, it does not really cut it in terms of producing great players. But going forward now, do you think that, how do you think that the likes of the Snooker and Pool Players Alliance, the likes of the professional Q sports players and all that, what do you think all these bodies should do so that we can push this game to the front burner?
To start with, things like this, tournaments like this are one key thing that brings players together. Tournaments, especially pool tournaments presently, if you put together a pool tournament and you say you need 1,000 players, you see them. Especially if the registration fee is low or next to nothing, you see them turn up. Players will turn up. You see amazing players turn up from every part of the country, And from there, we can now decide to start to select players, that we can attach to a particular platform to say, okay, look, guys, we can have a kind of conversation with them, educate them on the prospects of the game, let them understand the possibility of, them achieving something from the game, because bottom line, this country doesn't encourage you to depend on a particular thing, and if you look at these people who play internationally, they play, when they do snooker, they do snooker. When they do billiards, they do billiards. Except maybe they want to go to school on the side and still come back to the game. It's only when the game is not favorable, when they're out of form, like Guy Wilson, they say they want to go and drive a taxi for a bit and all of that, then eventually they still come back to the game. It's in as much as we think there's no money in it, there's a whole lot of money in it out there. They're encouraged to go through Q school, they're put into tournaments, and they earn something from it. But here and there they have a structure. Here we don't even have that. So it doesn't encourage anybody to want to depend on it, on the game itself. But if we say we want to really do something about it, it's tournaments like this. We can have tournaments, quarterly tournaments are even still far off. We can have monthly tournaments, like the platform that the president has started, the Pool Alliance, a ranking platform that they've started. Yeah, it's also a very, very beautiful start. You understand? But for you to get people onto the platform, you need to first bring them together. You need to You need to make the locations where they'll be able to get onto the ranking, available in every nook and cranny you get of the state, wherever it is that you want to use. You understand? Things like that really encourage the players. And if they know they go and play, and maybe they play for 3 weeks and they get onto the first 4, and they know after the 3rd week or the 4th week they'll be called up for a tournament, and the chances of them winning, is high, and or they'll even get something at the end of the day. I mean, they'll keep looking forward to it. That's how we need to start and grow and build these players into that consciousness of living in the game.
All right, I must say that it's been a really an eye-opener, really having a chat with you today, Victor. I appreciate your time and thank you very much. Hope to hear from you soon, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me on the show. I hope and promise to do better in my next tournament. I will try not to be too fatigued in my next tournament.
All right. We want to wish you all the best. So we hope, that is what we hope, that we see you at the top, because that's where you belong. Thank you once again, Victor. All right. That was pool and snooker player. He is everything wrapped up in one: billiard, snooker, and pool. Victor Ukueku on a chat with me about his performance at the last championship, Open Snooker and Billiard Championship, that was held at the Lagos Country Club. Yes, we go short break, and when we come back, it will be time for me to say my bye-bye on the show. Yes, that's how the cookie crumbles on today's show. Thanks for joining me, and special thanks to Victor Ukueku, who joined in the conversation. Also, not forgetting our in-house expert, Joachim Jide. Until I come your way next time, remember to keep hitting the targets and keep potting.